Now, the president of Yemen's Supreme Political Council says security and stability have been restored to the capital, Sana'a, and other cities following days of unrest. In a statement, Saleh al-Samad said some militias carried out acts of sabotage and killed people to wreak havoc in Yemen. He hailed country security forces, political groups, and tribal community for their efforts to help overcome the chaos. On Wednesday, troops loyal to former President Ali Abdullah Saleh sparked clashes with the Ansarullah forces, who are in forefront of a retaliatory war against the Saudis. Earlier, Saleh said he's ready for talks with the Saudis to open a new page in relations with them. Saudi Arabia launched its military campaign on Yemen back in early 2015. Now joining us out of Bristol is Mr. Tony Gosling, investigative journalist. Hello, Tony. Good to have you back on the program. And now, your thoughts on things that are transpiring in Yemen and Saleh now trying to cater to Riyadh's wishes once again, trying to forge a tie with Riyadh after what the Saudis have done in this country over the last 3 years.
Now, I'm going to burst a few bubbles here, I'm afraid, because we now know that even at the height of the Second World War, there were communications going on between London and Berlin. I'm talking about 1941, 1943. Actually, even in the most bloody wartime, it's important to actually keep some kind of form of communication with the enemy, because this is absolutely crucial in order to begin the early feelers towards peace. And actually, most mature fighting forces understand this, that unless you've got some kind of communication with the other side, even if it is very minimal, some kind of diplomatic, unofficial links, you may even in public totally deny those links. But we know, for example, even during the Troubles, the IRA Troubles here in Britain, that there were covert communications going on between the IRA and the British Army. So let me say it's no form of treason whatsoever for Saleh to be saying that there should be some communication between the Houthis and Saudi Arabia.
So in your point of view, can something beneficial or positive actually result from that kind of communication?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. I think what's happening with Mohammed bin Salman and Saudi Arabia at the moment is he's been put under a lot of pressure. He's taken a high-risk strategy, I believe, at the behest of the United States and of Israel, and he's now finding it may be his grip on power isn't as strong as he thought it would be. So this is potentially a good time for the Yemenis to be reaching out to the Saudis and saying, how about a little bit of let-up in the slaughter? Because, of course, it's not really a war. It's a bombing war from the air against those innocent people on the ground. And it's not an equal war at all. Also, I think there's another way of looking at what's happening there. It's a kind of a civil war, really. It was the British that divided up the Arabian Peninsula way back with the Sykes-Picot Agreement at the time of the First World War. So you could, if you take a step back from this conflict, see it as a kind of civil war. Now, the only way to have peace in Yemen and on the Arabian Peninsula, I think, is to at least allow some form of communication behind the scenes. I'm not saying this is some sort of magic pill here that's going to sort the situation out overnight. Absolutely no. But without communication, there simply cannot be peace.
Thank you, Tony. Nothing else has worked in the last 3 years. Maybe perhaps that's an idea. Mr. Tony Gosling joining us there out of Bristol, investigative journalist.